King's Gambit, 23 moves. In one of the most remarkable games ever, Anderssen sacrifices a bishop, then 2 rooks, and finally his queen. e4. This often leads to open games with tactical possibilities. e5. f4. The King's Gambit. White sacrifices a pawn for control of the center square d4 and the possibility of his king's rook becoming active on the f-file. E takes f4. Bishop c4. This variation is called the bishop's gambit. White should not play 3d4 because then 3 queen h4, check, is good for black since white would have to play 4 king e2. A common move for white is 3 knight f3. Queen h4, check. This looks threatening but actually is not the best move. Better are 3 d5 giving back the pawn and 3 knight f6. King f1. The king is more securely placed here than it appears, and white can gain an important tempo by attacking the black queen with knight f3. b5. A counter-sacrifice to gain time and development. This move is not looked upon favorably nowadays. Bishop takes b5. Knight f6. Developing and attacking the pawn on e4. Knight f3. Queen h6. The queen would have been better placed on h5, but black plans to move his knight to h5. d3. Guarding the pawn and opening lines for the bishop. Knight h5. Threatening 8 knight g3, check. 9h takes g3 queen takes h1, check. Knight h4. Stopping the threat and preparing to put the knight on f5 where it will be powerfully placed. Queen g5. Knight f5. c6. If now 10 bishop a4 then 10 d5 gives black a satisfactory game. Rook g1. Brilliant move. C takes b5. g4. Black cannot play 11 f takes g3 en passant because a 12 bishop takes g5. Knight f6. h4. Queen g6. h5. Queen g5. Queen f3. Threatening 15 bishop takes f4 trapping the queen. The bottled up position of the black queen is amusing. Knight g8. To save the queen. Bishop takes f4. Queen f6. Knight c3. White now has an enormous lead in development, definitely worth more than a piece. Bishop c5. Knight d5. The beginning of an extraordinary run of brilliant sacrifices. Queen takes b2. Threatening 18 queen takes a1, check. Bishop d6. Brilliant move. Bishop takes g1. e5. Brilliant move. Cutting the queen off from the defense of the kingside. White now threatens 20 knight takes g7, check. King d8 21. Bishop c7, checkmate. Queen takes a1, check. King e2. White still threatens 21 knight takes g7, check. King d8 22 bishop c7, checkmate. If 20 f6 then 21 knight takes g7, check. King f7 22 knight takes f6 king takes g7 23 knight e8, check. King h6 24 queen f4, checkmate. Black's best may be 20 bishop a6 but white still maintains a winning advantage after 21 knight c7, check. King d8 22 knight takes a6 threatening 23 bishop c7, check. King e8 24 knight e6, check. King e7 25 queen takes f7, checkmate. 22 bishop b6 23 queen takes a8 queen c3 24 queen takes b8, check. Queen c8 25 queen takes c8, check. King takes c8 26 bishop f8 h6 27 knight d6, check. King d8 28 knight takes f7, check. King e8 29 knight takes h8. Knight a6. To prevent 21 knight takes g7, check. King d8 22 bishop c7, checkmate. Knight takes g7, check. King d8. Queen f6, check. Good move. Knight takes f6. Bishop e7, checkmate.